So yesterday I noticed something interesting. I was doing a few things and I was a little off balance and I was hesitating. And so it made me stop and look at some of my fundamental movements, and I noticed that there were some angles I did not want to do and did not want to go into. And I noticed that I had certain what felt like weakness and pain into the joints. And really what it was is that I had turned off some muscles, some fundamentally important muscles like the quads, the butt, and the hamstrings, in ranges of motions that they needed to be on. So what I did is I grabbed two 10-pound dumbbells and I started doing really low motions of the hips and the knees. And I felt my muscles resist turning on, but once they finally turned on, I noticed my balance started coming back and I felt more confident on my feet. My balance felt better, and I started doing more physical activity because things were turned on safely. So we're going to go over that today, along with some of the motions of the shoulders that we do the same thing to. We kind of turn them off because we don't use those ranges of motion. So we're going to go over those range of motions and discover what motions we shut off on and why, and how we don't connect into our center. But we're going to start low today. We're going to start near the ground. See? Still a little turned off in the legs. Well, we're going to get them turned back on again. We're going to sit on top of the ball, on top of the block. The ball's midway between your pubic bone and your tailbone. Your abs are nice and tight. Your shoulder blades are down and back. Your head is over the top of the ball. We're going to start out with cervical motion. So your job is to move your neck around. And as Mario always shows us, it's about connecting to the abs. So as you pull forward, you're using your lower abs. As you go out lateral, you're using your obliques. As you tip your head back, you're using your upper abs primarily. You're using all your abs all the time, but you're going to turn them on. And as you go to the far right, you're going to use your left oblique. Just move your head around. See what it feels like to take it through full range of motion, connecting to your core. And it's amazing how much mid-thoracic pain or ache you might have because the head doesn't move through a full range of motion. Keep your abs engaged. Don't go so fast to get dizzy. Smiles are up. Now go in the opposite direction, same thing. You're using your abs, lower abs and pelvic floor as you go forward. You're using your obliques as your head goes to the side. Upper abs as your head goes to the rear. Then move your head around. And as we've talked about before, if you lose this connection to your abs, you become the person that's in a small car accident that doesn't walk away because the head and neck aren't stabilized. So these are important to stabilize. Okay, if your body moves, as long as your abs are engaged. Okay. We're going to be nice and tall. Head's going to be over the top of the ball. You're going to turn your head from left and right. This time you should feel your back muscles, your abs, your lats, and once again your obliques as you turn your head left and right. You probably feel it primarily in your back muscles because you're finding out cervical rotation doesn't happen only through the head and the neck. It happens through the spine, so thoracic spine, even lumbar spine. Okay, now we're going to start out with our right hand behind our back, as high up as you can. You're going to squeeze your shoulder blade down and back, and same thing, you're turning your head left and right. If you find a tight spot, you can just work at it a little bit. There should be no discomfort or pain. Keep your abs engaged. The abs protect the neck. In fact, the abs protect all the extremities. So your arms, your legs, your knees, your elbows, your wrists, all are governed by your abs. The neck's an extremity. Okay, switch sides. You're going to take your other arm as high up as you can, draw your shoulder blades down and back. And then turn your head left and right. Keep your abs engaged. Yeah, we don't think of the neck as an extremity. We think it's an essential part of the spine, but it behaves like an extremity because it's away from the core, or the torso. Keep that pelvic floor on, keep your abs on. Okay, good. Shake out this arm, shake out both arms for half back. You're gonna put your left hand behind your shoulder blade again, or as far back behind your spine as you can. Then you're gonna put your right hand on top of it, chest goes up. You're gonna squeeze your shoulder blades down and back. And once again, you're just now rotating your head around. You do everything right, you should notice your ear canals are opening up because it's opening up lymphatic drainage out of your head, through your throat, and even your ears. We're going to switch your hands in their positioning, and then you're going to take your head in the opposite direction. Keep your abs engaged. Notice how they want to shut off just because you're moving your head. Okay, go ahead, release your arms again. We're going to do one more thing. You're going to interlock your fingers behind your back. Chest goes nice and wide and open as you squeeze your shoulder blades down and back, and then you're going to roll your shoulders forward and then back and forward. Keep your abs engaged. Usually we open up the calves to open up the shoulders. We're going to open up the shoulders first to open up the lower half of the body. Keep those abs engaged. On this last one, keep your shoulder blades squeezed down and back as you send your head into cervical motion. Abs are nice and tight. In the opposite direction. Once again, notice if your ears are starting to clear. Okay, shake out those arms, see how things feel. You're going to come off the ball for a moment. Going to come off the block. You don't need anything for this next part. You're going to be in kneeling. You're going to stretch the quads open for a second just by sitting on them. You can lean back a little if you'd like to. Keep your knees together, abs engaged, suck in your tummy and release. Suck in your tummy and release. It's interesting how the different body parts anchor to other body parts. So this is an important one for opening up the shoulders too. Okay, and now we're gonna go into what looks like a child's pose. You're gonna stick your butt out, you're arching your back, you're reaching as far forward, you can touch your head to the ground. But keep your abs engaged. We're stretching, lengthening out your spine, you're lengthening out your lats. You're keeping first, second, and third chakras on. Abs are nice and tight. If you can lift your hands up off the ground, you're not far enough out. So if you're back here and you can lift your arms up, you're not far enough out. You should be here pushing your butt back, stretching and opening. And good, we're just going to take it off to the right. Same thing. Stretch, open. So open up your lat. Teres major, teres minor. Keep your abs engaged. You shouldn't be able to lift up your hands if you're far enough out. Okay, we're going to go the other direction. Same thing.
Keep breathing. Keep your abs engaged. Shouldn't be able to lift up your hands. Oops, I forgot to take the trash out. Okay, we're gonna come back to center. You're pushing your hips back. You're at the distance. You can't lift up both your hands, but we should be able to lift up one. So you're gonna lift up one, then you're gonna lift up the other. Your abs are engaged. You're sucking in your tummy. Nine and 10. Good. Push back, your chest is up, shoulder blades are down and back, abs are nice and tight. You should feel an opening of your upper body. We're going to interlock those fingers back behind us again as we squeeze our shoulder blades down and back, chest goes up nice and tall. Breathe. You'll see where we're going with this. Your smiles are up. And then good. You're gonna come back onto all fours. You're gonna just put one hand behind your neck. Then you're gonna open up as high as you can. We're gonna go a few times. We gotta warm things up in order to get this to open up, but you're gonna see how difficult it can be if you're not properly using your back muscles. Keep your abs engaged. Okay, let's switch sides. Same thing on the opposite side. Keep breathing. 9, 10, good. Come back up to kneeling. Draw those shoulder blades down and back. Okay, we're gonna go back onto fours again. You're gonna take your arm up out in front of you and then back down. Not very exciting. Keep breathing, keep your abs engaged. If you do this correctly, you should feel your butt working and push back into kneeling. If you're noticing it in your wrists, that means your abs weren't working and your legs weren't working enough. Okay? We're gonna go into this position now on all fours. We're gonna take the left hand forward, right leg back, and we're gonna work on flexion. So you're gonna touch your knee and elbow together and then apart. Then together and apart. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Rest for a second. Again, if you're noticing it in your wrist, you're not putting enough weight into your legs. Okay? We're doing the opposite side. You're going to take your right hand forward, left leg back. And you're going to bring those 2 points together to touch and then apart. Four, abs. Make sure your knee and elbows touch. 8, 9, and 10. Good job, everyone. So we're down and kneeling. We're gonna start curling the toes under. You can use your blocks if you'd like. First thing you're doing is you're curling your toes under. If you feel excessive pressure in your metatarsal heads, you're gonna push your heels back. And then push them back some more so you feel stretch in your plantar fascia and the musculotendinous junction of your Achilles tendon. Now we're gonna lean back. You're in this position now, your knees are together, you're gonna suck in your tummy and then release. Suck in your tummy and release. And you see how the abs protect the feet. Because it draws energy and tension from your feet through your quads into your abs. So like I said, yesterday I didn't move so well, and it was because muscles turned off, because they were either tight or they were not used. And a lot of times we create tightness so we don't have to move things. Okay, now you're just gonna push back, drop your heels down, you're gonna bend, and then you're gonna go back into kneeling. Just go back and forth between this position and kneeling. So we're working the hamstring, so you wanna keep your abs engaged as you do this. Back and forth. One more. Okay. We're going to go into recovery position. That's where your hands are on your knees. We're going to do a couple of sit-ups here. You're going to tighten your abs and then release. Tighten your abs, release. Keep those abs engaged. Keep breathing. And then come fully into standing. If your blood pressure drops, just go back into the recovery position. Okay, and now we're gonna start. Your feet are parallel, hips width apart. Here's your ASIS, here's your pubic symphysis. Midway in between is hips width apart. Okay, make sure those feet are parallel as you push down big toe and the corresponding metatarsal head. Outer four toes and the corresponding metatarsal heads, but especially that pinky toe, and finally your heel. 1/3 the weight through the ball of your foot, 1/3 the weight through your toes, 1/3 the weight through your heels. Turn those knees out. Now we go time under tension as you fire up your calves, your quads, your pelvic floor, or first chakra, your pelvic floor. Second chakra, your lower abs. Third chakra, upper abs. You're gonna draw your shoulder blades down and back. Keep your abs engaged. First, second, third chakras are on, creating a binding feeling, almost like you're wearing a wrestler's belt around your center. Support the center. And we're gonna do gentle hip circles. Half the time if someone has low back pain, if they were to just do a hip circle until the pain went away, they would no longer have low back pain, because they have pain because of immobility and one muscle group taking over. And if you could set it in motion, all the muscle groups turn on, especially your abs, and it takes pressure out of your low back. Go in the opposite direction. Smiles are up. Okay, we're going to stretch first before we start motion of the lower extremities. Stretch will always be similar in this class. We're going after those calves because we do so much on those with those calves in order to stand up, sit, pretty much everything. So we're going to stretch out our gastrocnemius with our feet parallel, knees over tops of your feet, your abs are engaged, you're going to pump those hips forward.
Make sure your abs are on, you're sucking in your tummy, you're lengthening that gastrocnemius. So important for upright posture. And then we're gonna bend and straighten your right leg, keep your left leg straight. This continues to stretch your gastroc, but now get your glute max a little bit, along with your glute medius. Keep your abs engaged. Smiles are up. And then now you're gonna bend and straighten your left leg. This is gonna open up a muscle, it's called the soleus. It's a deep calf muscle. Keep your right leg straight, left leg bends. And good, now you're gonna take that leg back behind you, front leg bends. You're gonna stretch into it. This will further get your soleus, but we're now starting a process of bending that front extremities, turning on the proper muscle groups. So I want you to feel your quad firing up, your butt firing up, your abs and your lats are stabilizing your spine, so you should feel no pressure in your low back. All the work is in your butt and your quads. And then now sweep that leg across midline. Ooh, you're just gonna stretch forward. This will get more of your glute max. The calf is naturally stretching. Abs are engaged. Here we go. You're gonna bend and straighten that rear leg. We're going into the angles we avoid. 9, 10. Good. I guess switch sides. So I completely forgot what we did on the other side, but I'm assuming we did stretching here. Abs are nice and tight. You're gonna pump those hips forward. Keep your abs engaged. Don't let any pressure go into your low back. We're lengthening a calf muscle. This is a gastrocnemius. And you can see how the gastrocnemius, if it's tight, can create a lot of low back pain and loss of range of motion of the hips and the spine. Abs are engaged, feet are parallel, knees are turned out. Suck in that tummy. And now you're gonna bend and straighten your left leg. Right leg stays straight. You're opening up glute max, glute medius, and the calf muscle, gastrocnemius, on the right side. Abs are engaged. 8, 9, 10. Now you're gonna bend and straighten your right leg. Make sure that knee goes forward. Make sure it actually bends. This is your soleus muscle restricting range of motion. Abs are nice and tight. You can see how you could cheat it into your posture. Don't let it go into your head or neck. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, take that leg back behind you as we continue to stretch it going forward and backwards. The majority of work is in your quad muscle and your butt muscle. Your abs and your lats are stabilizing it, so no work goes into your low back because we're using muscles and not joints. Suck that tummy in. Okay, and then you're gonna take that leg across midline. You're gonna just lean forward. You should feel more stretch into your glute max. Abs are nice and tight, front knee is bent, chest is up, shoulder blades are down back, no pressure in your low back. All sorts of pressure in your right butt cheek. Suck in your tummy. Keep breathing. And then come on back up again. See what it feels like to stand up straight on 2 feet. Abs are engaged. We're gonna get the other half of this that we didn't get, so you're gonna put your ball of your foot on the block again. Abs are nice and tight, you're pushing your hips forward, shoulder blades are down and back.
You're gonna take your arms up over the top of your head as you arch backwards, stretch side to side. Keep your abs engaged. You're gonna feel your quad activating. You're gonna feel that calf lengthening. And you're gonna feel your low back trying to resist this because it's so used to flexing. Keep your abs engaged to protect that low back. And then try to make it more semicircular as you go back. And just like when we did cervical motions, you know these motions activate the obliques. And because we're in extension, it's also getting your upper abs into your rectus abdominis, the main six-pack muscles. So this is a sit-up. Okay, good. We're just gonna do the other side. Same thing, notice the resistance to your body. First going side to side until it warms up a little bit. And then creating that semicircular motion. Suck in that tummy. Lengthen that calf muscle. Use your abs. Always we're using muscles and not joints. And good. Bring your arms down. Stand on 2 feet. It should feel a whole lot easier just to stand as you're able to mount your hips. So your hips should feel like they're over the tops of your feet. Your abs are engaged. Your shoulder blades are down and back. You're feeling a lot like the Academy Award. Hip circles. Okay, so everything we've done so far has been pretty much in long angles of the legs. We're going to start working those short angles in a second. And then go in the opposite direction. Try not to have your head moving all over the place. Okay, we're going to start this with basics. Okay, left knee on the block, right foot out in front of you, abs nice and tight. We're starting out with hip circles. Try to keep your head over the top of the block. Your head should be almost motionless. There's no reason for it to move. Your knee on your right knee should be almost motionless, because we don't want to create another situation into the knee just because we're moving our hips. Go in the opposite direction. And good, we're going to immediately change sides. Feel what it feels like to be on your right knee. Make sure that head is over the top of the block. Abs are engaged. Hip circles. No motion through your head, no motion through your right or left knee. Abs are engaged. You're on top of your right knee. Sucking in that tummy. And now go in the opposite direction. Notice if you have complete motion over the top of the hip or not. We're not trying to ride the joint, we're trying to use muscles. And good. We're going to switch back again, and this is where it starts. We're going to start using small angles. That nabbed by a mosquito. Okay, your knees on the block. Abs are engaged. Okay, I know you like using the block. Your toes are curled underneath you, behind you. You're going to lift up 1 inch and then go back down gently and then come back up. You're using muscles. You shouldn't feel anything in any joints. You should feel your quads. You should feel your butt. You should not feel your ankles or your shoulders. 8, 9, and 10. We're switching sides. Oh no, do I hear Mario? Abs are nice and tight, shoulder blades are down and back, your toes are curled under. We're doing this side, same thing. You're lifting and lowering.
You're using muscles, not joints. You shouldn't feel this in your knees. You shouldn't feel this in your butt. It's Miss Maria. That's 3, 4, abs. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Switch sides. We're gonna push the block aside. We're gonna go onto our knee. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy. If your knee is tender, don't worry. We're not gonna stay here for long. Shoulder blades are down and back. Or we can rest until Maria gets here. Yes, we can rest until Maria gets here. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy. Is your mic on? Okay, here we go. You have one leg forward. Abs are nice and tight. You can use your roller if you need to, but try not to. You're gonna lift up and lower down. 2, 3, use muscles, not joints. 4, 5, 6, 7, abs. 8, 9, 10, and switch. So these are the angles we don't want to use. Abs are nice and tight. We tend to drop into these. And there's a garbage truck. I forgot to take the garbage out. Shoulder blades are down and back. Abs are nice and tight. Here we go again. 1, 2. Notice if one side's stronger than the other. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Come in the full kneeling. Woo! It's hard doing this 2 days in a row. You're gonna need your block for this next one. You're not gonna like it. I didn't like it. It's really upsetting hearing the garbage truck, knowing I didn't put the garbage out. Okay, we're gonna put our right foot on the block. Your left toes are curled under. Oh, you could use your roller if you want to. Don't have to. But go lightly on the roller. And here you go, you're lifting up 1 inch again. Using your quads, your butt, not your joints. 6, 7,
8, 9, 10.
Okay, and then we're switching sides. Oh. Curling your toes under. Abs are nice and tight. Remember, we're working muscles, not joints. So if you feel it in your knees, there's ways of activating it more into the muscle belly. Okay, here we go. 1. Keep breathing. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and rest. This time we can go into full kneeling again. Ooh, you should feel your quads burning. You should not feel knees burning. And what you think is knees burning is actually your quads being very, very shortened. All right. I'm gonna get Maria space because we're gonna be side by side doing this. All right. So what we're gonna do is you're gonna come onto your side. Your leg is out. We're gonna first just lift lower your heel. You can push down, but try to keep your hips open as you do this. What number is that?
7, 10.
Okay. We're gonna just do the opposite side. Lift and lower. Keep your abs engaged. Try to keep your balance. Go into super high heel. Okay. So here's what's gonna happen. You're gonna, let's see how I'm gonna have to visualize this. Y'all get a rest while I'm visualizing. Okay, so from this kneeling position, we're gonna go through all the ranges of motion. Going from outside, you're gonna step up. You're gonna come together. You're gonna step back down, hips open. You're gonna close it back up, step out, step together. Step back down. No throwing your knees down. But this is a motion. Okay?
Can you try that again?
Yeah, one more time to the side, then you guys gotta do it. Okay?
I'm not sure I have a clear understanding.
You have a
yet.
clear understanding. Chest is up. All right, so first you come up, take your leg out to the side. Then you're using your leg muscles, not joints, bringing your feet together, then back down gently. Knees together, knee out. Pick yourself up, put yourself back down. Out. No hard landings. You should feel this in your quads, not in your knees. How many is that? 10. Okay, rest.
What?
What is that? You said 10.
7.
7. Oh. 8. 9. 10. Right?
Yes.
Stretch.
I'll go with that.
You're gonna feel your quads. You're gonna think you feel your knees. You don't feel your knees. You feel your quads not being used to slow down. I forgot how to do the next one. I had it mapped out in my head.
Is that age or is that resistance to do the activity?
It's resistance to do that activity. Well, in lieu of that, we're gonna do this one. You're gonna put your blocks side by side. Once again, you're gonna barely use your blocks. You're curling your toes under. You're gonna go back and forth from knees down to on the tops of your feet with your heels down. Ooh. See how Mario gets into a full little munchkin squat there? You want to go back and forth between the two. This is hard because you got to use muscles. It's easy to try to use joints. What number is that? Oh, I remember it now. Remember that now? Okay. Okay, you're gonna have a block you're just gonna hold. Your legs are gonna go off to the right. You're holding onto that block so you can't use your hands. This is our first-time fathers that are over the age of 50 class that I used to teach. Don't shake the baby. Bad things happen when you shake the baby. Makes mama angry, makes baby retarded. Okay, so from here, we're just gonna first switch sides. You could do it in pieces. Take your legs to the other side. Either way, you're using your obliques. What number is that? You may only do 8. Okay, fine, 10. What number is that?
9. 10.
Okay, rest for a second. So you did feel your obliques working, you felt your hip flexors working, which are good. But now we're gonna put everything to work. From here, if you're holding up to your baby, you're gonna get up, you're gonna go back down, you're gonna switch sides. It's gonna make you into safe parents and grandparents. What number is that? Okay, rest. So I saw something sad the other day. I saw a father who couldn't pick up his child, but yet grandma could. Father was so broken down, out of shape, stressed out that he couldn't pick up his own child. A toddler, probably less than 30 pounds, couldn't lift it up, but grandma could. That's never a good sign.
That's a good sign. Grandma can.
Well, grandma's in great shape, but son is in terrible shape. We're going to continue to work on the booty in small angles as you now bring the block forward. You're going to put your right knee on the block, your hands are back behind you. I'm going to give Mario more space. Yeah, grandma was badass. She also knew how to collapse the stroller. Okay, here we go. Take your hands up off the ground. We're gonna balance first, and then we're gonna hinge forward and come back up. Small angles once again. So you should be feeling this in your butt and your quad, not in your knee or your back. Keep your abs engaged, lats on. What number is that?
10.
Okay, switch sides. So there's an old Japanese game that I just related to pickleball because that's the only thing I could relate it to. What's it called with the paddles?
Hagoita.
Hagoita. And in the middle of the night after leaving a party, we were given a set of Hagoita. And Mari and Kai started playing it in the middle of the street in Waikiki. How many parents can do that? Abs are nice and tight, and she won. Okay, here we go. Oh, balance, and then you're gonna come back up. Notice what your butt feels like when it's working, your quad feels like. You should not feel your knee, you should not feel your low back, neck or shoulders. Abs are engaged. Okay, good. Might need your blocks for this next one. We're in this position. For now, we're resting. Abs are engaged. Again, we want to feel muscles and not joints. If you're feeling joints, figure out what muscles you need to tighten up so you don't feel it in your joints. And curl your toes under. We're going to push back into a squat. Your feet can turn out now. You're in a squat. You're holding a squat. Nobody likes holding squats.
Except most Asian people.
Well, yeah, I'm the exclusion for that Asian people. Abs are nice and tight. And then we're gonna stand up and then go back down. All the way heels down. At no point do your heels come off the ground. You should feel work and energy in your quads and your butt. This is very important to be able to do. Just make sure those knees stay over the tops of your feet even though your feet are turned out. Abs. Okay, stay at the top. I know your blood pressure is low. If it's super low, drop onto recovery position. Feet go parallel. We're gonna push our hips forward. Not sure if I'm ready for this next one. Oh, look at the time, we have so much. Okay, we're gonna take our right leg forward, left leg back. You guys know how to do half of this. You're gonna keep your knee over the top of your foot, rear leg straight. First thing you're gonna do is touch the ground, come all the way back up, and then you're gonna touch your knee to the ground. Come all the way back up. Keep your spine straight the whole time. There's no point where your spine bends. You're keeping the work loaded into your legs. What number is that? We may only do 8 of these. What number is it now? Abs. Don't let this go into your low back. Don't let this go into your knees or your ankles. What number is that? Is that 8?
9.
Oh my God, how'd that happen? Oh, okay, let's switch sides. Woo, woo. You might feel a bit like you've been shot in your butt, that's okay. Other side. Same thing again, knees over the top of your foot, abs are nice and tight, rear leg is straight, we're gonna touch the ground. And then we're gonna bring our knee to the ground. Spine stays straight. You're loading your quad and your butt, not your knee. Keep your abs engaged to maintain stability. Keep your shoulder blades down and back to keep it out of your back. Remember that?
I will let you know when it's ready.
I need to know so I don't die. Is it 8 yet? Ah!
10.
Yeah, we'll do one more. Okay, we're gonna go into nice recovery position. Abs are nice and tight. We're gonna do our sit-ups. Suck in your tummy, release. Suck in your tummy, release. Suck in your tummy, release. Oh. Okay. We're gonna go into a little bit easier thing to do. For your sake, not mine. Ah. All right, we're gonna come onto our tummies. You can go facing forward now. It'll work, unless you have enough space. Okay, you're gonna take your right hand out the side, put it on top of your head like you're listening to the radio. It's not hard, but you have to keep your abs engaged. You're gonna take your left leg out to the side. And then you're going to try to lift your elbow off the ground without squeezing the temple of your head into the ground.
Wait, which side are you doing?
Opposites.
Oh.
So,
no, I'm doing the opposite because...
Yeah. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Abs are engaged. Nine?
10.
Okay. Switch sides. Notice if one side's more difficult than the other. Okay. Push back into that weird child pose that I told you about at the beginning. We're going to stretch along our spine. You should be so far forward and your butt going in the opposite direction that you cannot lift your hands up off the ground. If you can lift up your hands off the ground, you're not deep enough into the stretch. And you can try to let your forehead come to the ground, like Mario's doing. Breathe. Okay, we're going to counter this by sitting on our butts with our legs out in front of us. All you're going to do is take your arms back behind you. Try to touch your pinkies behind you, behind your back. You don't actually have to do it, but visualize that. Chest is open, abs are nice and tight. Then you're going to just lift your chest up. That's it. This is opening up your pecs. And you can turn your head left and right, just cause. we started the class, moving our head and necks around, trying to connect to our abs. We're going to come back to it and see if we've made a better connection since the first beginning of class. It's another mugging one today. Oh, so Mari and I officiated our wedding this weekend.
Not our wedding.
Not our wedding, some other people's wedding. And it was absolutely beautiful weather at Tualoa Ranch. Not too hot, beautifully sunny, no humidity, slightly cloudy, nobody overheated. It was good.
And it was really nice. We did a group meditation, and of course we couldn't see it because our backs were turned to it, but just as we said, everybody slowly open your eyes, they said the clouds broke and the sun came beaming through.
Yeah, we coordinated that.
Thank you, universe.
Yes. Okay, come back up, shake out your arms. You can bend them because you're stretching them. All day long we keep our arms flexed. We're afraid of falling, or we're working on our smartphones. Our arms are bent. We occasionally have to lengthen them, and that's what we just did. Now we're going to do another lengthening as we come into all fours. You're going to put your hands this way in all fours. And what you're going to try to do is sit back. Just sit your butt down and then come back over the top of your arms. Just rocking back and forth. Put a slight bend in your elbows. Sucking that tummy. And good. Ooh. Shake out those wrists. Oh, there it is. You're going to grab your ball and your block. Like I promised, we're going to go back to that cervical motion. Ball's on top of block. You have a seat on top of the ball that's on top of the block. Ball's midway between the pubic bone and the tailbone. Chest is up, shoulder blades down and back. This is really gross. Sweat's coming through my shirt. Okay, and I'll let Mario take you through the cervical motion.
Okay, we're going to start by rotating our neck, coming into flexion, rotating through extension. Once we find that rhythm, try to coordinate your breath and connect to your abdomen. As you come into flexion, you're going to engage your lower abs, pelvic floor. As you come through the sides, you're going to engage your obliques. And as your neck comes into extension, you're going to engage your upper abs. Keep breathing. Try to visualize that circular motion with your head, coordinating with the circular motion through your abdomen. Okay, we're going to go in the opposite direction, starting with our head. Deep breath. Once you find the range of motion, you're going to start to engage your abs, coordinate with flexion. You engage the pelvic floor, lower abs. Transitioning through the sides, engage your obliques. And as your head comes into extension, try to engage your upper abs. Continue to breathe. Visualize that circular motion with your head, connecting to the circular motion of your abdomen. Coming back to center. Take a deep breath, elongating your spine, reaching up to the crown of your head. And exhale.
Now we're going to go back to turning our heads to left and right. Trying to feel that twist all the way through your torso and spine. We want the work happening through muscles though, not through the spine. You're going to feel the spine moving.
gently twist from side to side. As your head goes to the right, try to engage your right rib across to your left hip. Connecting diagonally, rib to hip.
So suddenly, without noticing it, we've been making you do sit-ups. Okay, good. You're just going to interlock your fingers behind your back. Squeeze your shoulder blades down the back, lean your head left and right. This will work primarily your oblique muscles. And breathe. Once again, it's totally normal to feel your ears popping as we do this. Stuff draining down the back of your throat, or even increased salivation, because we're stimulating and encouraging cervical motion, pharynx motion, vascular motion into the head, neck, and upper body. And good. Just shake out your arms. You have come a long way. Okay, come off the ball. Come off the block. You're going to stretch the hips one last time. Change your mind. You're going to sit on top of the ball. It was just such a good stretch last time. Your right leg is going to go down. Your left leg is going to stack on top of it. So you can use your blocks to hold you up. The ball's underneath your pelvic floor still. Chest is up nice and tall. Oh, you guys stay there while I switch out the music. Oh no. Feel what it feels like to stretch. It's okay if your knees feel sore today. They're not actually sore, it's your quads, and we'll stretch that in a second. But for right now, you're opening up your glute medius and tensor fascia lata. Your chest is up nice and tall and you're breathing. You can rock from side to side or do circles. This is a muscle group that if they get tight, tend to cause knee pains. So this is why we open them up, so you don't have to experience knee pains. Okay, we're going to switch sides without straightening your legs because we want to keep them kind of in what's called the bind. You're going to notice if one side was definitely tighter than the other. Out in front of you. Now jog them out. Jog, jog, jog. You're still on top of the ball. Okay. Now you're going to take your right leg back behind you. Your left leg is forward. We did a lot of this Saturday's class. Chest is up. But you're just going to stretch in this position. First, leaning forward. Toe goes to your nose. We're just stretching. your abs engaged, pelvic floor is on. And good. Now we're going to counter it. We're going to stretch backwards. You can use your blocks. You're going to lean back only as far as it feels comfortable. You don't have to stretch yourself into a weird position that will snap something off of you. Try to keep your knees together. Suck in that tummy. Keep those abs engaged. Remember, abs protect extremities. Okay, and then we're going to switch legs. Your left leg comes back behind you. Your right leg's out in front of you. It's also getting you used to being low on the ground. You can stretch forward. Keep your abs engaged. Mosquitoes went to town on me. Okay, you're going to lean back in the opposite direction. Suck in your tummy. Try to keep your knees together. I know they're going to want to come apart. Now in this next part, if you're comfortable on the ball, stay on the ball. If you want to block underneath you, that's fine. Or you can just sit on the ground. We're going to finish out coming back into a cross-leg position. And we're going to sit up nice and tall. We're going to get the head over top of your pelvic floor. Shoulder blades are down and back. And you're just going to now start breathing. Keep your abs engaged, your lats are on, you're feeling no joints. See what it feels like to get the crown of your head as far away from your pelvic floor as you can. See what it feels like to find balance and connection to breath. On behalf of Maria and me, we'd like to say thank you for being here, doing all the crazy things we ask of you, to be willing and open and supportive. We appreciate you very much, and namaste.